Hello, hello, and welcome to Project Eden's Garden. This, as you hopefully just read from all of that text, is not Danganronpa, but it is close enough to Danganronpa, inspired by Danganronpa, that the creators of the fan game had to outright say, "We're not Danganronpa." Visual novel, detective game, very standard stuff. If you are familiar with Danganronpa, it is basically the same setup. Game is still very much in development. Chapter 1 was recently released. There's a prologue as well that's been around for about a year. I am familiar with what happens in that prologue from watching videos from about a year ago. So I may have forgotten bits, not remember specific details, but I know generally what's going to happen. As soon as Chapter 1 kicks in, I have no idea what's going to happen from that point onward. In an ideal world, I would probably wait until the whole game was released and play it all at once, but the internet being what the internet is, I will be spoiled at some point, I am sure. So, we'll kick off now. I don't think I'm gonna try and do voices for everybody, like I did in Tyrion Cuthbert, because there's more voice acting in this game. It's done like how Danganronpa is, where all the trials and things are fully voice acted, and I don't think I'll be able to get any of the voices close to what the actual voice acting is like, so I'm just not gonna do any. I think that's about it covered. As I said, it's a fan game. It's free. There'll be a download link down in the description, where it always is. But it is free, so there's no reason not to give it a try yourself if you are at all interested. Let's go. I think we will go with normal. Life has no real meaning. We exist just by chance, born to a planet that didn't want us to begin with. It's up to the best of humanity to give the world a purpose. People like me. Those who shine brighter than the others, who have an influence on our greater society. Ultimates. We're known as Ultimates. Ultimate titles are awarded to exceptionally talented high school and college students. Doctors who can cure the incurable, engineers who build machines to improve millions of lives. The most influential politicians, the most creative architects. These are the people who deserve lifelong recognition, who define what it means to be a true ultimate.
I, Damon Maitsu, am the ultimate debater. A prodigy among prodigies, someone who simply can't be outmatched. I hold on to my title dearly, because it defines me. It's who I am. It's what gives me my purpose. Among a sea of mediocrity, I am a shining example of talent. And now, there's a school worthy of me.
Yeah, first interesting thing about this game, our protagonist here is considerably more full of himself than any of the protagonists in the Danganronpa series. To Mr. Damon Matsu, the ultimate debater, congratulations! For your contributions as an ultimate, we cordially invite you to attend Eden's Garden Academy, a specialized college for academic-based talents. At our unique academy, you'll not only develop a tighter grasp on your respective skill set, but you and the other ultimate students who receive this invitation will gain an ever-important proficiency at leadership, communication, and persuasion. In an age where anyone can be called ultimate, we hope that you will join us and assume your rightful place as the true face of talent. Please keep the contents of this invitation, as well as the attached registration materials, strictly confidential. The integrity of our program is built on the foundation of privacy. Eden's Garden Academy, an ultimate academy for true ultimates. It was built in partnership with the Ultimate Talent Program, a government institution that has awarded ultimate titles to people for almost the last century. You don't apply for the UTP's schools, they scout for their students, which is how I found myself receiving a letter from Eden's Garden Academy. It looks to be an amazing school. Immaculate architecture, incredible workspaces, and access to resources beyond anything I've ever seen. Everything about the school is perfect. It's truly worthy of being called ultimate. In my 18 years of living, I've accomplished more than most people could even dream of. Within this random and chaotic existence, it feels like I was destined to be great. After what seemed like hours of waiting, the train arrived before me. It wasn't as nice looking as I expected, at least not for a school of this caliber, but it was undeniably the one. With luggage in one hand and a pamphlet in the other, I boarded the train. This is the start of my new life, the start of an even greater career. For the first time in my life, I'll finally be among people as great as me.
Huh?
Look! Someone else is here.
Huh? Someone else?
Hey, hey! Welcome to the Eden's Club! Well, it's more accurate to say Eden's Garden Academy's Club, but Eden's Club just has more of a ring to it, don't you think?
In front of me, spread out across the train carriage, was a group of strange-looking people. A girl with pink hair, some guy in a wolf costume, one guy in a weird beanie staring intensely at me. What the hell? Are these creepy people really attending the same academy as me? Apathetic to my situation, the train continued from its halt. Looks like I'm stuck here for now. I guess I should find somewhere to sit.
Hey, you! New guy! Over here!
Hello! Can you hear me? I seem to have caught the attention of one of the other passengers.
What now?
What do you want?
What if...
Cool, so, I was wondering something. Whatever it is, I'm sure you can ask an employee. I'm honestly not in the mood. Oh, sure? Frowning and dropping his head, he walked away.
Howdy.
Excuse me, but you don't happen to know when the final stop is, do you? A girl's voice suddenly chimed in from behind me. Jeez, can people just leave me alone for 5 minutes?
No.
Not a clue, but you can try looking for... The words got caught in my throat when I turned to look at her. This woman had to be twice my size. Is something wrong? Don't fret it, darling. I'll just see who else is around. With a small wave, she walked away. The people here just keep getting weirder and weirder. I really hope none of them are in my class. I think they all are. Kind of. In a way. Not wanting to be bothered any further, I quickly found myself a seat by the window. The situation was nothing like I expected, but at least the view from the train was nice. Mountains framed by a deep blue sky. Crystal clear rivers that sparkled like jewels in the sunlight. It couldn't be a more radical departure from home. Scenery continued to pass, time flying by with it. The chatter from the others on the train eventually softened, leaving just me and the rolling mountains. Nearby, a woman in professional attire turned up her nose to the air and started sniffing. After a moment, the expression on her face turned stone-cold serious.
Something is wrong.
The air doesn't smell right.
Oi!
Huh? The air?
Quack!
Hey, I smell something too.
Excuse me.
Could you describe it? Kinda chemically. It's almost like it's coming from...
What about...
that bag over there. She pointed to a travel bag at the opposite end of the car.
Well, shoot.
Oh, shoot, you mean this one right next to me?
Let me think.
I don't smell anything funky. Well, that's probably because of the helmet. Yeah, probably.
Pardon me.
Is that your bag?
Not a chance.
Nope. It was already here when I got on the train.
Weird.
It's weird. There's no name tag or anything. After inspecting the outside of the bag, he began fiddling with its lock.
Great!
Cool, you got it open. That wasn't the lock. Ugh.
Huh?
Eh? You okay? Yeah, bro, I'm all good. I just feel kinda...
Christ almighty!
Shit.
Did you just pass out? From the same end of the car, the guy who would be staring at me earlier. I'm not feeling so good either.
Hang on.
What did you say? Good night. What the? People are dropping like flies.
Holy!
Oh, someone get help.
For real?
Let me try to alert the conductor or whatever. She ran over to the door that connected to the adjacent car.
Oh, crud.
It's not opening. Why isn't it opening?
Stand back.
I want to try my hand at it. Can you step aside for a sec? He yanked at the door, but...
Bad news.
Damn. Car is locked up as tight as a prison.
Come off the grass.
Huh? But I left to take a piss like an hour ago. Yeah. Let me try something else. I missed a line. He threw himself at the door with all his might. He groaned and stepped back, revealing he hadn't even left a mark on the door. What? I did nothing? There's another boy who's fallen, a girl too. But why is everyone passing out?
Damn it.
Shit, maybe it's got something to do with that bag The air around me had grown thick with a strange pungent smell. I could taste it, feel it sting my eyes. Oh god, no, don't. As a futile plea left my lips, I felt my strength trail away with it. The world flickered around me, and then... there was nothing. What is that humming noise? It sounded almost like an air conditioner. But if it's an aircon, why am I so warm? I weakly opened my eyes. Above me was a concrete ceiling. A concrete ceiling? My body's so heavy, but I had to get on my feet. I had to see where I was. Huh? It's a girl? Could it be that she's... No, she's still breathing. So she's asleep, just like I was. Kneeling down to her level, I reached out my hand to shake her. Hey, can you hear me? No response. Bringing my face closer to hers, I repeated the question. Hey, can you hear me? Wasn't she waking up? Damn it, do I actually have to... Holy... Her eyes snapped open, causing me to jump back.
Hello.
I was just testing you.
Huh?
Testing me? To see what you would do. It's not every day you find a body on the floor.
That's...
So you were awake that whole time?
Correct.
I woke up before you, yes. And she just let me sleep.
Anyways.
How long was I out for?
Not sure.
I don't know, I didn't wake up that long ago. When I first came to, I was also startled to see a stranger.
You see?
One can never know if they're in the presence of a friend or foe. Which is why I needed to see for myself how much I could trust you. By lying on the floor and making herself vulnerable. She makes no sense. As an excuse to break off the conversation, I started to look around the room. It was definitely some kind of boiler room, but there didn't seem to be a light switch anywhere. The only light came from a vent set far back in the room. Looking at my close surroundings, I was standing on a platform with stairs that led down to the rest of the room. The lower floor was mildly flooded. I'd say the water reached a little above my ankles. It was a place that had clearly been abandoned for a long time. Ellipses! Even with the strange things around me, my gaze kept returning to this girl. There's something about her that seemed almost familiar. Wait, that's it! She was on the train I boarded. Hey, we met before. On that train?
Yeah.
Yeah. Things turned upside down not long after you arrived. A strange smell started to come from that travel bag, and then everything turned black.
Right.
Right. Just what the hell was that?
Listen to me.
I think it was a chemical agent. The bag must have been equipped with a gas bomb or something. Someone clearly wanted to knock us out. Sounds like she's been thinking hard about it. Maybe that's why it took her so long to wake me up.
I see.
Sure, I was thinking the same, but whose bag was it? Why did they want to knock us out? And why aren't we on the train anymore? Where are we?
Look at this.
Considering our surroundings, some sort of boiler room? As she raised her hand to push up her glasses, something large and metallic on her wrist caught my eye. It looked vaguely like a watch.
Eh?
Hey, what's that on your hand?
Well?
You tell me. It appears you have one as well.
Huh?
At those words, I looked down at my hand.
What the?
Less Danganronpa, more Zero escape. Sure enough, I was wearing the same device. It had been fitted tightly around my wrist, but it felt like I was wearing nothing at all.
Damn it.
Hey, I'm not wearing this. As I grabbed a hold of the device and pulled, a tiny surge of electricity ran through my wrist.
How humiliating.
Very Zero escape of you. Sorry, I should have warned you. If you try taking it off, it shocks you. Thanks for the heads up. What is going on here? Why am I wearing this weird shock collar thing? Who put this on me?
Look.
You can touch the screen, though.
Eh?
See, like this. She tapped the face of the device. It slowly lit up and displayed a holographic image. Fancy. Oh, so like a watch.
Correct.
It's just projecting a blank screen for some reason.
So...
Either way, it seems we're stuck with this device for the time being.
moving on.
While you're standing there, the least you can do is give me your name. We didn't have much of a meeting on the train anyway. Damon Matsuo, Ultimate Debater. I'm a student at Eden's Garden Academy.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Eh?
What is? Thank you for telling me more than I asked for.
As for myself, you may call me Eva Tsunaka.
It's nice to meet you. I'm sure it is. The pain from the shock was finally subsiding. It's as good a time as any to get a better grasp of this room. Maybe there's something in here that can explain the flooding. Or even better, that annoying mechanical noise. I've got to Project Eden's Garden. Why thank you, tutorial agent. A lot has happened already, and I'm sure you're eager to investigate. But there are some things you should get acquainted with first. To access the trinket, or as Damon so colloquially put it, the watch, simply press the F1 key. I'm pressing it now. Nothing is happening. To view past dialogue, press the F2 key. That does something. Good. I escape back out of that. And to access observation mode, press the Enter key. Press the Enter key again to exit this mode. Oh, and use the W, A, S, D keys to pan around the room. If you need to revisit this information, check out the control panel. It's just one F3 key away. That's all for now. Go forth and explore. Sure. Very little to pan up and down. We can pan left and right a bit. Okay, we have save load. Cool. Right, let's just go left to right, shall we? There's a camera. Eh? Staring at me from the corner of the room was an expensive-looking security camera. Had this been recently installed? It seemed better suited for a vault than a crappy boiler room.
Interesting.
You noticed that camera too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really out of place. Do you think someone is watching us through it? It doesn't look like it's turned on, so I doubt it. I see. Perhaps that's for the best.
Eh?
What do you mean? If someone is watching us, it's possible they are the same person who put these wrist straps on us. She makes a decent point. Ooh. Very radar-y. Well, let's see. We have some boxes. There might be something useful in this pile of dusty boxes. Light bulbs, duct tape, a bunch of screws. Nothing in here but junk. There's a generator under the vent. Is this what's making the mechanical noise? Seeing it in the water put me a bit on edge. I was thinking of checking out the window above it, but now I'm not so sure. That seemed to be it. The room's too run down for me to investigate anything further. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Ava approach the pile of boxes and fish out a light bulb. Then, without hesitation... Good way to check whether the water's electrified. She chucked it into the water.
Huh?
What are you doing? Checking whether the water's electrified. You said that. All of a sudden, she jumped off the platform we were standing on and into the water.
The hell?
Seriously, what the hell are you doing?
Can't you see?
Exploring. You're not worried about the generator?
Look.
Look at the light bulb I threw into the water. Notice how it isn't flashing? That means the water isn't conductive. Fair enough. I guess she's not worried about getting her shoes wet either. Okay, just give me a second. I took off my socks and shoes and quickly rolled up my pants. Trying to hide my discomfort behind a cool face, I descended the stairs into the murky water. The mechanical noise was even louder now. It sounded like it was coming from the direction of the vent.
I see.
Yep, definitely must be the generator.
Damn.
We're lucky the water isn't conductive. Those exposed wires would be bad news otherwise.
Interesting.
For such a small generator, it sounds like it's running a lot of power. It's surprising how this noise alone wasn't enough to wake us up. Whatever knocked us out on the train must have been pretty strong. Anyway, that explained the whirring noise. I wonder where all the power is going to. High up on the wall was a vent. What could be on the other side? Do you want to look through that? Yeah, I do.
Listen to me.
Alright, I have an idea, but it will take some physical effort.
Eh?
Like what?
Well?
Like getting on my shoulders.
Seriously?
I'm not doing that. If you get on my shoulders, it'll give you a boost and you can look through the vent.
Fair.
Fair, but shouldn't I be the one giving you a boost? I don't think you could handle it. Saying that, she stooped in front of the generator and motioned for me to come over.
I'm talking.
Make sure to tuck your feet behind my back. I waded over to Eva and awkwardly positioned myself on her shoulders.
Are you sure you can do this?
I'm fine. Just look through the window already.
All right.
Well, do you see anything? Yeah, another vent, and a room just beyond it. Can't see what's inside the room, though. Both these vents are in the way. Taking a closer look at the boiler room vent, I noticed there were hinges bolted to the upper corners. Did this mean the vent can be opened? Wrapping my fingers around the grate in front of me, I pulled as hard as I could. Hey, I got it open. Can you see better now? Though the second vent still obstructed a lot of the room, I was able to make out the legs of tables and chairs. They were pretty fancy looking. It's the floor of some fancy room. We must be in a building with multiple levels. Weird that this vent opens into another room instead of outside. Eh? Just beyond the chairs, in the very corner of the room, there was something peeking out. A person's legs? I felt my chest tighten. Is he also passed out? Hello? Can you hear me? No response. Damn it, there's gotta be a way inside this room. Eva, could you let me down? There's someone in there.
I
think it's a guy. He's lying on the floor and I'm pretty sure he's passed out. He might know something we don't. If we're not there when he wakes up, we might lose him.
So...
The room's on the level above ours, you said. Right, which means there must be stairs somewhere.
Focus.
You have to find them. To leave an area, press the R key. Confirm the choice with you, just in case you get any second thoughts. Well, I think we've looked at pretty much everything there is to look at. Got anything else to say? No, not really.
Hello.
What is it? Nothing? Yes! As soon as I was out of the water, I threw on my socks and shoes and ran straight to the door. Upon leaving the room, I was greeted with an equally derelict hallway. The walls and floor were an old matted colour, with nothing else to them. No wall decor, no windows, no life whatsoever. However, there was one thing that stood out. At the very end of the hallway, where the corridor took a sharp turn, was what looked to be sunlight hitting the wall. Does that mean there's an exit right around that corner?
Hang on.
Don't go running off without me.
Huh?
I've already inspected the rooms in this hallway, so you can just ignore them.
Eh?
When did you do that?
You see?
While you were asleep. You weren't waking up, despite my best efforts, so I decided to investigate on my own. Hang on, your best efforts?
So...
Poking you in the face, dragging you by the feet, I even bridal carried you at one point. Not sure I can believe that.
Listen to me.
Anyway, I haven't checked what's upstairs. I didn't want to walk too far from where you were lying.
Come again?
You didn't think to get help?
No.
You were obviously breathing.
Really?
That doesn't answer the question. You only started to wake up after I returned from my search. How does that get in the way of finding help? Unless she didn't want to leave me here alone? Can't figure her out at all.
Moving on.
This floor didn't turn up anything useful, by the way. The rooms were just a bunch of storage closets, completely dilapidated, filled with random stuff.
That
was the case for every room.
It's the truth.
If you don't believe me, you can check for yourself. As my great-grandmother's brother's friend's motivational calendar once said, you can't progress if you don't have the will to move. We can walk. We can even sprint. Cool.
It's the truth.
Sure. Let's have a little look. I mean, there's a very fancy carpet. The room was almost identical to what Eva had described earlier. There was no real organization or meaning to anything, it was just filled with completely random crap. What did I tell you?
I see.
It's definitely a messy place. Yes, that's right. Let's move on now. I should probably listen to her. There was no reason for me to look inside this room. Especially when we might have found help. But what if I want to? Nope. Nothing to see. Yeah, I'm just going to assume they're all going to be the same. Ooh, much fancier. The upper floor was in a lot better condition than the one below, but that wasn't saying much. Water stains covered some parts of the walls and ceiling. I could only guess a pipe had broken and started leaking. There didn't seem to be any mould, at the very least.
So...
The room with the unconscious man should be above and adjacent to that boiler room. That means it must be on the other side of this hallway, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, given we walked away from the boiler room to get here. Alright, let's investigate. Let's just pick a random room. It's locked. It's locked. Let's worry about that later. We need to find the room that the man is in.
That's...
What if this is it? You think we are above and adjacent to the boiler room? No, I don't. Let's move on. Weird paintings.
That's...
Let's have a closer look at one of them. This must be edgy modern art or something. Not much to say about that. This must be the room. It's got a very fancy door. Dining room of some description. Wow, this is a pretty stylish looking place. It's a lot better maintained than the rest of the building. Okay, the vent should probably be... Yeah!
Huh?
Before I had a chance to react, the woman drove her fist directly into the side of my head. Who the hell are you? What the... Who the hell are you?
Damn it!
Why did you just hit me? I'm not going to embrace a stranger with open arms. You could have been a murderer. So your instinct is to attack everything you see. Hey, I've already spared one guy in a suit. I'm not letting my guard down a second time.
Huh?
A guy in a suit?
Eh? Hello.
This guy, the outfit he's wearing.
So...
We've met before, haven't we?
Curious.
I was about to say. I recall seeing your faces on the train. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the two of you are standing next to each other. Do you guys know each other? Not at all. We only formally met a few minutes ago. Oh.
Anyways.
Well, you were still knocked out by that sleeping gas stuff, right?
Soybean!
Don't remind me, Soybean.
Come again?
Huh?
Ugh.
Yeah, that's right. I said it. You're a soybean, just like this loser next to me. I disagree, but we should focus on what happened on the train. I don't know what the heck happened, but... One second I was on the train, the next I was surrounded by total darkness.
Ugh.
The place was like a solitary confinement chamber. I thought I was gonna suffocate in there. What are you talking about?
See that?
See that pantry over there? Yeah. Turns out the door was unlocked.
Jeez.
You were inside that pantry. When she kicked open the door, I nearly jumped out of my skin. What the hell were you doing while she was in there? Waking up? Huh?
Ugh.
Isn't it unfair? I got stuffed in some tiny pantry while this guy had the entire floor to himself. Whoever's responsible for this must have been jealous of my talent. You won't believe how many jealous people turn violent in this industry.
Eh?
Industry?
Eh?
What's with the dumb face? You know who I am, right? Was I supposed to?
Pfft.
Uncultured swine.
My name's Grace Madison, Ultimate Golfer. Don't forget it, Soybean.
I see.
The ultimate golfer. Of course. Since the two of you are on that train, that means you're ultimates as well. What about you? Can you tell me your ultimate talent?
I'm Wolfgang Akere, the ultimate lawyer. Here's my card.
Also the walking Detroit Become Human reference. Which we'll see more of later. There is a line. A lawyer? It's way better than being a golfer, but... For such a young-looking guy, I didn't expect him to have a talent like that. His age must be part of what makes him an ultimate.
Pardon me.
You look confused.
I'm
not confused, I look too young. Is that what you think?
I understand.
I get it a lot. Even Miss Madison said it.
Whatever you say.
It's 'cause it's true.
Hold on.
Well, don't you think the same could be said for yourself? I'm not wise in the way of sports, but I've always had the impression golf was an old man's business. Not that young women shouldn't take the reins. The sport's probably in need of a revival. It's a rough industry, but that's because we gotta fight for recognition, not sit around for 7 years and do F all. Sounds like the average high schooler, now that I think about it. Hey, how old were you when you started college?
No, thank you.
That's personal information I don't intend to disclose. You're a piece of work, aren't you? What happened to talking about the train? These guys seriously have their priorities skewed.
So...
You have them too. The watches? Yes, I noticed.
Huh?
Look.
We're all wearing the same wrist straps. Really? You were busy talking, so I figured you wouldn't notice unless I pointed it out.
Eh?
Wrist strap, you say? These are more like mini shock collars.
By the way...
Those aren't mutually exclusive. I heard you the first time.
Well?
So you tried taking it off, did you?
Yes.
Yep, same with you. Actually, it was me who tried taking it off. That stupid thing zapped me when I did.
Let's see...
I suspected it wasn't unique to Miss Madison, though I hadn't tried removing the strap myself.
Strange.
Equipping everyone with a strap that shocks them. Who could justify doing something like that? Well, what's the purpose behind these straps?
Soybean!
Are you daft? It's to shock us. The thing is, we seem to receive a shock if we try to remove it.
How can this be?
So, why aren't we allowed to remove these wrist straps? What I want to know is, who even put these things on us? The answers to those questions might be something we have to figure out ourselves. It doesn't make sense. For me to be abducted and taken somewhere I don't know, surrounded by a bunch of strangers and forced to figure out why, it doesn't make any sense. Why is it happening?
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello?
Are you talking to me?
No.
No, look behind you. Huh? Confused, I turned to see what had captured everyone's attention. For a second, I thought I was seeing things. Peeking at us from around the corridor was a small girl. Who are you?
Is that
What the? Is that a gremlin?
Miss Madison!
You'll scare her if you shout like that. The girl had left her position by the corridor and slid into the room. Now I could see for certain that she was a kid. What the hell? Why is there a kid here?
For your information.
For your information, I'm not a gremlin. Did your mother never teach you manners? It's rude to backtalk strangers you haven't met. No way, the gremlin could talk? I just told you I'm not a gremlin. If we must make comparisons, I'd rather you liken me to something more elegant. For example, a kappa.
Really?
That's not much better.
Be careful.
But please be careful what you say to her. This girl seems awfully young.
Can't you see?
She doesn't seem young. She is young. What's going on here? Why is there a child wandering around? You know, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I also saw you on that train. You were hidden behind some other people, so you were pretty hard to see. I assumed you were sitting down or something. It didn't even cross my mind that you might have been an actual kid. Cowering behind a bunch of strangers, huh? Figures I didn't see it. Still, what the hell was it even doing on that train? That's what I'm wondering. Kids got no business with people like us. I do not appreciate your misguided comments about my age. I am a professional, just like the rest of you.
No.
You mean you're an ultimate?
Is that really true?
I didn't think children could qualify as ultimates.
I am an ultimate!
Must I keep repeating myself? I'm not a child, I'm a professional.
Jeez.
Well, what is it that you're so good at? So you desire to know my talent, do you? Normally I'd decline further conversation with rude people like you. But given our circumstances, I shall be sanguine on the matter.
I am Toshiko Kaira, the ultimate matchmaker. Nice to meet you, I suppose.
That's...
Matchmaker? Aren't you a bit young for something like that?
Get a grip!
The gremlin's obviously lying about having a talent. I bet it snuck its way onto the train because it saw all the commotion. Now the little is stuck with us.
Look at what you've done.
Now look at what you've done. You made her upset. Upset.
Of course not.
I know better than to take a gremlin seriously.
Oi!
Oi! Don't think you just use my insult against me.
Miss Madison.
Grace. What?
Moving on.
So, if I have things right, all 5 of us were on that train. What about the other people who boarded it? Do you think they've been kidnapped as well?
Indeed.
That is correct. Apart from us, there are 11 other people. 11. Counting us, that makes 16.
Correct.
That's the same number of people who are on the train.
Quite.
I've become well acquainted with them.
Filthy.
The only person I've been avoiding is the frustrating boy I woke up with. You wouldn't believe his manners. And she also woke up with another person. I'm starting to see a pattern here. As does everyone else.
I suppose.
Speaking of, would you like to meet the others? I think they should know about you four.
Very well.
That would be helpful, yes.
Wonderful!
Very well. I shall serve as your guide as we embark on this new journey.
Take this seriously.
Don't sound so happy about this. This is a kidnapping, not a college orientation. And then again, it's not like I would go to most orientations willingly. Maybe those two events aren't that different after all.
Well?
Where are the others right now? Obviously they're outside this building. There's an exit not too far from here. Follow me.
It's for the best.
She seems to know more than us. Wouldn't hurt to entertain her. Let's see what this thing has up its sleeve. Outside this building. So there's even more to this place than we've already seen. Are there other buildings just like this one? Exactly how big of an area are we exploring? Standing here won't give me an answer. I should find the exit already. But first, there's a room to look around. The woman's mask bore the unmistakable nose and horns of a giraffe. Definitely not a live one, though. Through the gaps in the vent, I saw the boiler room I woke up in. If I listen closely, I can even hear the whir of the generator. That might be why I installed a vent here. I didn't want too much moisture forming on that generator. It's a comfy looking sofa. If I sit down, I might not be able to get back up. Better refrain for now. Like the rest of the room, the kitchen looked really nice. It was clean and fully equipped with utensils, and the cupboards were stocked with all kinds of food. The question is, who is this kitchen even for? It can't be for us, can it? I really think it might be. Might be. Why did I say it like that? This was where that loud golfer girl, Grace, woke up. It would have been funnier if she was shoved into the refrigerator instead. This painting was one I recognised. I'm pretty sure my high school team had to research it for a debate. Whenever we were trying to argue, I scrubbed it from memory. Needed to make room for the next debate somehow. One thing's for sure, the woman in the painting didn't wear a mask. And the liquid she's pouring, it definitely wasn't blood. Forget about the mask, what's that weasel-looking thing? A weasel, probably. Or a mongoose. They look pretty similar. Talk about the stuff of nightmares. Is she supposed to be a hyena? The ears are really big, though. Maybe it's a wild dog. Whatever, I'm wasting my time here. Alright. That appears to be everything. Looks like the others are gone. Whatever, I work better alone. You're late?
Eh?
You're waiting?
Oi!
Only because the gremlin insisted. I didn't even realize you fell behind until she said something.
Unfortunately.
I'm ashamed to say the same.
Well,
By the way, what are the others doing right now? Exploring something else, probably. You don't sound very sure of yourself.
filthy.
They had the nerve to tell me to stay put while they inspected the area. If they don't want me exploring, then I suppose I'll explore by myself. Alright, sounds like she just wanted to show off.
Are you done yet?
Who cares about that? The guy's here now, let's go already. Yes, and then the others will realise their foolishness.
Wonderful.
Onwards, to the great outdoors. Little girl turned to face the door, but instead of pushing it open, she reached for a lock I hadn't even noticed before. The door opened with a long, shrill creak, and we finally saw what was waiting outside.